Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pager, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7. So this upcoming week we have the finale for The Flash Season 7, which will have the largest group of speedsters together taking on Godspeed and his clones. But of course, one of those speedsters taking part who returned in the most recent episode, which also served as the special 150th episode of The Flash, was that of Jay Garrick. Now, while it was awesome to see Jay Garrick return and all that, it was also met with questions about his current status and whether he was always from Earth Prime or not, because that's where we saw him. He was just in Keystone City on Earth Prime. It's like, well, has he always been there? And if he was, there are issues around that are now caused. But yeah, we're going to go over everything, what we know about Jay, how this could be explained, and many other things throughout this video. But yeah, of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your general thoughts on this, like what your definitive view on it, like whether he's always an Earth Prime, whether there was some multiversal stuff, before that. Just let me know your general thoughts down there in the comments. I'm always curious to read them. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, you found this useful in any way, shape, or form, but you also could drop a like on it to show your support and gratitude? I don't know. Is that the word to use? I'm not too sure. Now, originally, this Jay Garrick, of course, he was kept captive on Earth 2, where Zoom was from in the pre-Crisis multiverse. However, he was a resident of Earth 3. That's where he was from, and that's where he was stolen from. And this was before Crisis on Crisis on Infinite Earths, might I say. And we went there like one or two times. We even then went there at the beginning of last season, just before Crisis happened. Now, unfortunately, Jay did not take part in Crisis. He did not show up. As I said, he was there at the beginning of season 6, and he was involved in some Crisis-related things. But when Crisis actually kickstarted and the actual event took place in those episodes, he wasn't there. So there was a big question mark on his whereabouts. The general thought was that Earth 3 had been destroyed already, similar to how we saw Earth 2 get destroyed in Arrow's series premiere that year. So maybe Earth 3 was gone as well. And that's why he didn't, play a role. But of course, once Crisis was done and dusted, we were officially in the post-Crisis world, or the post-Crisis Arrowverse. We were told he was on Earth Prime by Eric Wallace in an interview, but then it was eventually confirmed in the week that just went past that he is a resident of Earth Prime, just like all the other Arrowverse heroes of The Flash, Supergirl, Superman, Black Lightning, all of them, along with his partner Joan Williams, who we'd met previously. However, Jay and Joan are doppelgangers of Henry and Nora Allen, who of course are Barry's parents. So due to that, it brings up this issue because it shouldn't make sense, and I guess you could say definitively, doesn't make sense that post-Crisis, Jay would be a resident of Earth Prime because Henry and Nora obviously existed before that. Because, spoiler alert, if you didn't know, Barry is their son, as I just said. And we know that there can't be a coexistence, in regards to just from the start. So it's not like they both could have been born on Earth Prime. So what's going on? Where are they from? And this is where I think it could be teased this season, in this season finale, this upcoming week potentially. However, if it's not, our next opportunity, if only opportunity to really explain it properly and lead into something, would be on Stargirl in Stargirl Season 2. So Stargirl could be the gateway. So as we know, or hopefully most of you should know, if you didn't know, then this is a news flash for you. Jay Garrick, played by John Wesley Shipp, so the same version, will be appearing in Stargirl Season 2 in episode 9, I think it is, to be specific. And as I said, we have been told it's the same version, and it's meant to be the first crossover between an established Arrowverse character, that being Jay Garrick, and Stargirl as both a show and the character of Stargirl. However, Stargirl is set on Earth 2 in the post-Crisis multiverse like we saw at the end of Crisis. It's not on Earth Prime. So how can that work if Jay is on Earth Prime now and apparently been settled there for a while? And this is where timey-wimey stuff can come into play. So Jay, from what we know, and from set photos that did leak, but then I think they didn't leak, I guess, because they were put up there by one of the actors, but it looks like Jay's going to be in a flashback episode, or an episode at least, that features flashbacks from what we understand, with a focus on the original JSA. So with characters like Starman, the original Dr. Midnight, the original Owlman, and so on and so forth. I think the original Johnny Thunder's meant to be in there as well. So it's going to be a flashback episode. Now, of course, we don't know the details of what happens specifically in that episode and, what happens to certain characters. But we can theorize on how it ends with Jay that explains his current situation on the Flash as well as Earth Prime. So in Stargirl, the original JSA fell on Christmas Eve in 2010. We saw that in the pilot episode. It's in the first few minutes of the first ever episode of Stargirl. We even saw a frosted over Jay Garrick helmet on that night, but didn't see a body. So it was insinuated that Icicle attacked Jay Garrick or something like that. And as we know, there were people that went into hiding after that night who didn't die. People survived, such as Owlman and Pat Dugan or, Stripesy. This in order not to just protect themselves so they don't die, but also to protect their loved ones. So they moved away, ditched the superhero life and just went into hiding or, whatever it might be, just to protect themselves. So what if in Stargirl's, season 2 episode that Jay Garrick's in, they connect the dots? So we see Jay after the night that JSA has fallen, where he sees that the best place for himself and his partner Joan is on another Earth. Maybe because he's a speedster, they're able to track him or something, or it's extremely hard for him to go into hiding, or just because of his speedster abilities, he's able to go beyond hiding outside of just the Earth that he's currently on, which was Earth 2. Now, the issue with Earth Prime being the Earth that they go to is that the JSA fell, as I said, on Christmas Eve in 2010. Now, in 2010, Henry Allen is still alive. He's not dead. Nora Allen is dead. She's been yeeted by Reverse Flash at that point. But Henry Allen is still alive in prison. And we're led to believe he is still killed by Zoom in post-crisis in, I think, 2016 roughly. So does Jay Garrick go to Earth Prime and lay low in Keystone City, away from Central City, and just really not go in the public so no one goes, hey, aren't you that murderer, Henry Allen? Or does Jay hop Earths every now and then and decides eventually Earth Prime is the one to be on once he meets or knows of Barry Allen as the Flash? And this is past the point where, Henry Allen's died. Because it's very important to remember as well that Zoom was the one that held Jay Garrick captive. So did Zoom still do that? We still don't know if Zoom still did that and kept Jay Garrick captive on Earth Prime. That's maybe why he decides to stay as well. So maybe he was hopping Earths and that's where Zoom caught him or something along those lines and then captured him. It gets tangled and can be very confusing. And that's why I think a lot of people are confused because of just the way that the multiverse is set up. Of course, they live in Keystone City, so maybe they could have just come straight over and it could be seen as a non-issue that they just stayed there. But if we still believe that the Man in the Iron Mask stuff happened with Jay Garrick, then I guess Zoom got his hands on him. But if they don't do that, I could see that, Henry Allen dying is the time that Jay would arrive as well, because it's not dangerous for him to be there because of the coexistence. So once Henry Allen dies, it seems like a safe time for him to, lay low or, set up camp, if you want to call it, on Earth Prime. This whole thing could lead to Jay telling Barry about his previous life, potentially leading to a rediscovery of the multiverse sometime in the near future. And, because they still don't know about the multiverse is still there. It's still this question mark that they haven't really dabbled into. And this could be the gateway to it, which could then lead to Stargirl meeting, Barry Allen and, other heroes in the multiverse that want to do that. Obviously, this is just a theorizing session, and I guess us, as well as myself, just hoping that this is explained on the show because so many people have questions around it. And when something such can cause such a plot hole or there's just such confusion around it, I think the longer you leave it to not explain it, the worse it gets, especially if you introduce more and more things and it just buries that issue even more. And by bury it, I don't mean cover it up, I mean just bury it in even more issues and stuff like that. So hopefully it gets explained, whether it is in this Flash Season 7 finale this week, which I don't think would be the case. I think it's more likely in Stargirl where they might touch up on it, and then maybe after that on the Flash again, they touch up on it as well. So I don't know, I think we'd all like to have some clarity around it, or at least most of us would like some clarity, but it's a wait and watch. Cross our fingers and let's just hope they do something there. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome. You could drop a like on it to show support. If you do have any other questions, if it was a bit confusing in points, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Ask any questions and I'll try and get back to you. It's a bit of a, as I said, it's a bit of a, twisty one. There's just a couple of different things that twist around and stuff like that. It can make it a bit confusing, but if you're still confused, ask me any questions in the comment section down below and I'll try and get my thoughts back to you as soon as possible. But of course, if you also are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.